Money FM 89.3, the best of Saturday mornings. Singapore Home Brew on Money FM 89.3.
Singapore's Rainforest Wild Asia is the latest eco attraction there that is bringing the adventure experience together with treks through the rainforest, vibrant layers of jungle, things to do and see that maybe you haven't done and seen before. And in the studio with us now to talk about it is Maggie Ang, the VP of Park Operations for Mandai Wildlife Group, and Loa Boon Keng, also known as BK, the Assistant Curator for Animal Care at Mandai Wildlife Group. Welcome to you both. Great to have you with us.
Thank you for having us, Glenn and Neil.
Absolute pleasure.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Okay, so start off. It's been open now for a couple of weeks, right?
Not to the public. March the 12th, right?
Yeah, so we're open.
Take us through it.
Yes, we're only open on the 12th of March. So we have begun our media preview, which Neil was invited and a part of. So thank you for enjoying that and then welcoming here into the studio. So over the last couple of weekends, including today, we invited, our guests who have been contributed quite a lot to the success and the opening of the Rainforest Wild. So we have the members of the public. We also have partners, corporate programs coming through. So really, this is a time for us to kind of stress test the operation so that we can kind of bring up the best to the public.
How's the test going so far? Is there any stress in your stress test?
Can you see me right now? Absolutely stressed.
You look very calm.
She's lying down with a hot towel on her face. No, she looks a picture of refreshed relaxation.
Yeah, so as we've previewed, it's we acknowledge that obviously there are going to be ups and downs and there are going to be testing, but that's the whole purpose of the preview. So every single time when we finish our preview, we make sure there is an iteration and just kind of enhancing the experience better and better.
Yeah.
Before we bring in BK, Maggie, give us an overview. I've seen it. It is unlike any other of your Mandai attractions. What is it that sets Rainforest Wild Asia apart from, say, the zoo, night safari, river safari, and so on? What makes it unique and different?
So the Rainforest Wild Asia is adventure-based, with a focus on Southeast Asia rainforest. So that's really about discovering the different layers of the rainforest. And that's quite salient as you enter into the park, going through the forest edge and then going to the cast and all the way to the canopy and then down again to the subterranean, which is the cavern. If you haven't seen the cavern in pictures, that is so remarkable. So these different layers of the rainforest, we house different inhabitants, our animals out there. It's, like I say, about discovery. It really breaks the mold of what you think a traditional zoo is about. It's you looking out for the animals. Every shadow in the trees, in the dense foliage, even a sound, a growl, that's a cue for you to look out for the animals. But when you see these animals, it is just the most remarkable thing rather than, being presented to you right away.
Singapore has always done that well, from the very early days of the zoo itself. And we're talking to Maggie Ang and BK Loa from Mandai Wildlife Group, to be able to present animals in nature in a way that is more natural than perhaps some traditional zoos might have been. What's the thought process on this new experience to go through the rainforest? How were you able to get your heads around actually making that real for people in a way that's still safe for the animals and safe for the people?
Well, we think that it's important for us to bring the most naturalistic habitats. One of the things that when we are developing this piece of land is being sensitive to the environment. You know that Mandai is really right next to the Central Catchment Nature Reserve. So we see ourselves as a contiguous part of the area. So when you look at this piece of land, you think to yourself, what is it that I can do with this piece of land and still at the same time preserving the trees, albeit a secondary forest over there. There are more than 320 mature trees that we have managed to preserve them in the tree protection zone. On top of that, we've also planted 7,000, plants and shrubs to make sure that this multi-layer experience come across quite authentically, right?
Wow!
So once we establish what kind of land that we are looking at, the construction, being sensitive to these trees are being built around these areas. So you might have experienced when you're going through the rainforest, you're really ascending, descending, going around the trees and in kind of like an intertwined connectivity through the rainforest. So that's really quite special to us. There are also forest treks. For you to get really close to the animals is a different immersive perspective. When you're on the elevator walkway, you could be looking at the tigers frolicking in the waterfall, but when you really go down into the forest track, that's when the tigers might just be right beside you in one of the passageways that were recreated.
I mentioned this to Glenn, and I want to bring BK in on this. What you're calling immersive flexible habitats. The word flexible is key. Just to use the Malayan tiger example, it's extraordinary. I've never seen such a big enclosure. You've got this eastern enclosure, a western enclosure. There's a walkway for the tiger to go back and forth between the two. There's watering holes on both sides. It really is extraordinary. Give our listeners a sense of these flexible habitats that the animals have.
First, thank you, Glenn, and also Nell for having me on your program. So the flexible habitats actually refer to a series of habitats that allows us to display different species at different timings. This allows also different timings whereby the guests can come and see. For example, they can see the red doe, they can see the Malayan tiger in some of the prey predator trails. And this is also where, at different timings, they can see the babirusa at the ground level and the predator species traveling through the trail. So this allows the animals to be seen from different places at different chance. This creates more chance encounters for all the guests to be able to see them from the eye level, from the top level, and also sometimes even side by side.
But from the the animal welfare perspective, BK, you work with the animals every day. Maybe you can tell us which animals you work with. How does the animal behavior improve? You see it day to day when you have such a big exhibit.
So over at the canopy, where we have several species of primates, we have noticed that they are actually exploring the place much more. They have higher trees to climb. They can actually go on to different parts of the forest to actually browse on different trees that they have. So this actually creates them a lot of places that they can explore, discover, and then also to pick out not just their foraging points, they can pick out their favorite place to hang out when there's heavy rain. So what we noticed that even though we provide shelters, artificial shelters for them to stay away from hot sunlight, direct sunlight, and also from the heavy rains, they actually do prefer to hunker down in the trees, and that's quite an impressive sight to see.
Lovely. Yeah. Did you say the barbusa? What? There was an animal.
Babirusa is a short name of it's a pig species. So the name comes from the word babi. In Malay is a pig, and rusa is actually deer. So they actually have these canines that grows up through their snout, and it resembles that of a deer.
Oh, beautiful! Right. And what's your favorite, BK?
My favorite is actually the siamang. So siamangs as a species, I've worked with them from the start since I joined. They're actually a wonderful species to work with. One of the key highlights is that they actually have a loud, boisterous voice. So they actually do loud, bombastic calls in the morning. This actually helps them. We
were just watching that in the White House. Some loud, bombastic calls. Yeah, but anyway, carry on.
Yes, to the extent that I've actually learned how to call the same call as them. I really can do that.
Can you do it? Oh, do it for us now.
Do you really want it?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Go a little bit away from the mic. Go a little bit away from the microphone. Yeah, just a little bit.
So they will have different parts of the song. So when you have the loud call, they will start with a So it has an increasing amplitude that they go, and they will reach a top climax whereby the male and female will start to duets, and then they will end it off with a loud whooping sound.
Maggie, can you help with the duet?
Me?
Yeah, both of you together now, so we have the duet.
I'll try to emulate. Is that the woo 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 sound?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Let's do it.
You start. And tell us again which animal this is.
This is the siamang.
The siamang. Okay. Yes. Okay, go ahead. Wonderful. All right.
So Maggie actually produced more of the lar gibbon vocalization.
Yeah.
So quite close because this is actually quite unique to this gibbon species. That's
And
why they're my favorite.
the Maggie and
Every
BK
single
show will be performed 4 times a day at Rainforest Asia.
A first on Singapore radio right here.
Absolutely. Great stuff. Great stuff. Right, you've got 8 zones across the park, BK. Give us a quick overview of the 8 zones you have.
Okay, so entering into Rainforest Wild Asia, you will first run into our entrance gorge. This is actually the opening zone that will lead you from the forest floor all the way to the canopy. And then that's where you can actually go back down towards the layers of the rainforest, towards the cavern. So the cavern is actually quite a unique structure. It's actually one of the places that is inspired by the UNESCO Mulu Caves. So this actually have a lot of work that was done to emulate this and also to allow our guests to experience the cavern, which is actually quite a unique experience throughout our 5 wildlife parks. So my favorite zone is actually the rock cascade. So this is where like you mentioned earlier, the series of the predator-prey trails as well as the flexible habitats. This allows the guests to experience the animals at different times of the day. This creates the very unique and also a mystery as to what they can explore or what they can see if they come back at a different time or on a different day.
Wonderful.
Wow. The getting the public in there, you're not going to start for another almost 14 days now from now. What are you expecting as you're working through kind of getting everything worked out? Where are you expecting the high kind of traffic zones to be? What do you think the public's really going to like to enjoy the most based on what you've seen already in the soft opening?
I think what the guests were really, from what I see, and also including our own staff, it's really the karst, which is a limestone formation that's really impressive, and that's like the very first 50 meters of your arrival. You just get that wow around the corner, and that houses 5 of our François Langers, which is the first time that we've ever brought them into our institution, our wildlife parks. They are very comfortable in this limestone karst formation, which is their natural sort of ecosystem and habitat. They're very active, they're very energetic. Every now and then they have a burst of energy just kind of bouncing off the karst. That's beautiful. And beyond the karst island, we have once again these west karst, north karst surrounding the François Langer with adventurers. So remember, we talk about this park being adventure. We have not really talked about that more. So if I can just add, this is what we call the Wild Apex adventure. These participants will be able to put on a harness and go onto the Via Ferrata. So you are scaling on meta-rungs, climbing on staircases, and then towards the end, you get a final descent where you experience a little bit of a free fall. All these are thematically designed to make you feel like you are a Langer and putting yourself in the shoes or the paws of the animals, going through what's life like in the canopy. So that's one. I think towards the end, like what BK mentioned about the Mulu cave, or rather the cavern, which is inspired by Mulu in Sarawak, that's my personal favorite. I know that there are just all these wondrous formation that took 200 millions of years to form, but we painstakingly went to Mulu to get digital photos of it and piece together the highlights of what Mulu would offer and stitch it together into a 220-meter cavern. And this is also a universal design pathway, which means that a person who has got mobility, who requires mobility aid, parents with children in stroller will be able to enjoy. And that's not possible if you go to Mulu and Sarawak. So being able to bring Mulu, a piece of Mulu for people to enjoy and appreciate a different type of forest. Because when people think about forest, it's really about large trees, dense foliage. But actually there is a different type of forest that is underground, where mysterious creatures like cockroaches, centipedes, cavern snake racers inhabit. So it's introducing something that people might not see from below and bringing it up. So
and of course, the dinosaurs. Oh shoot, I wasn't supposed to say the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I saw those. They were brilliant. We haven't got much time, so I want to give a quick shout out. Not the dinosaurs. You are the VP of Park Operations, and I have to say, I was genuinely impressed by the number of affordable, meat-free, sustainable food options. So you tick that ESG box for me. What was the thinking behind that?
We wanted to make sure that being sustainable is not just something that we talk about. It is very inherent in what we do. We want to inspire people to live with a care and appreciation for wildlife. So we do a lot of other green sustainable things, not just a vegetarian. So
meat-free. Doesn't have to be vegetarian.
Yes. Meat-free, plant-based. Yeah. So we have solar power in a lot of our new developments and also increasingly in our existing parks as well, to just kind of harness these natural elements. You don't see it, but actually we harvest rainwater as well as wastewater in an on-site wastewater recycling plant, so that we can use this recycled water to water the plants, irrigation, and to wash places around the park. Material-wise, that was also a very important consideration. The walkway that people would get to walk on our FRC-approved wood. The little things count as well. Even the tote bag that you will walk away with in our retail shop is actually recycled from discarded refrigerator, home appliances, and single-use plastics.
Wow.
In terms of menu, we make sure that about 20% of our F&B offerings are plant-based. So that's something for everybody, whether is it just a design or something that you can take home. Everything of this has a green, sustainable practice that we keep in mind.
Wonderful.
Awesome. We do have to leave it there, but thank you so much, Maggie Ang and BK Loa, the Mandai Wildlife Group, folks talking about the new Rainforest Wild Asia. Going to be open on the 15th of the month.
The 12th, isn't it?
Excuse me, the 12th of March, not the 15th. And you can get over there and have fun in 8 different zones. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.